last thing I wanted just to say, principles of successful cell group leaders. My principles that are very important for successful cell group leaders. Number one, a successful cell group leader must be positive as a leader. Be positive. You know, you have this mind that says, I can do it. Can you all say, I can do it? Yes, so be positive. Yes, naturally, myself, I'm not a very positive person. One of the most positive persons I've ever worked with is the evangelist Basil Tembo. Yes, evangelist is a very positive person. Right now, it's a Saturday. If I was to say to evangelist, next week let's plant 10 churches, to our planter. Yes, he's just a very positive person. It's like he doesn't have a negative to him. He's always positive. He's just like that. But many of us, we are not wired like that. Yes, many times I find myself talking in the negative. Then when I'm midstream, then I have to make a U-turn, a conscious U-turn. Do you get what I'm saying? Yes, many times I have to do that. And I find myself many times when I talk to Bishop, I start on the negative. And I remember one time Bishop, I want to talk to the pastors or to all reverends that we make a significant contribution to the building project. So earlier on, my wife and I, and just about 3 or 4 other reverends, we had done 10,000. So Tangata paid that 10,000. But Tangata was showing about 4 or 5 of us, okay, that Bishop had asked. So when we finished that 10,000, 2 weeks later, he then phoned. I want us to involve all other reverends this time. So in my heart, I told myself, Bishop, I'll just say, I think I can, my contribution $250. And if I can, I'll tell him, no, I paid that 10,000. So a day before the meeting, he then phoned. I wanted to bounce off these suggestions with you, Rev. These figures, what do you think? And they're like, so now I was expecting how much. Then myself, 20,000. My goodness. And then he comes to me and my wife, 15. My goodness. My wife was standing close by. I saw a 10 Asian white. You get the weight? Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So that pizza, yeah, I was almost about to tell him with our Bishop, you know what, it was people are going through this and that. And like, so I started on the negative, highlighting the economy. And when I was midstream, I heard a voice saying, encourage him, encourage him, encourage him. I suddenly made a turnaround. And I said, yeah, you know what, Bishop, yeah, I realized the economy is hard. But I have noticed every time that you give us a target, we are able to fulfill it. So the figures are all right. They are all right, Bishop. They are all right. Let's share with them tomorrow. Did you hear what I'm saying? Tell your neighbor, deal with the negatives. Very important. And usually dealing with the negative, it's a conscious thing that you do. Otherwise many of us are wired in the negatives. So Taka Garapa right now, some of you are, many of us are saying, yes, so you have then to deal consciously, then to correct yourself and say, yeah, no, this thing can be done. Are we all there? Very important. Are you learning something? So be positive. Then be consistent in attendance. What kills many cell groups is inconsistencies. Yes. Once people begin to realize that you are inconsistent in attending the cell group, they will disappear. Hallelujah. Then be relational as a leader. Be relational. It's important just to know people's names and also try to be accessible. Try to be accessible. Just try to be accessible. Then have a dependable second man. Have a dependable second man. That's your associate. That's very important. A person announced an associate is a very important person. Yes. Have a dependable. Then be a soul winner. Yes. Then be a soul winner yourself. Yes. Number 5. The number 6 is sing simple songs. Sing simple songs. Number 6. It's right at the bottom there. Sing very simple songs. Now, don't complicate a cell group meeting by singing Hillsong. Mbuya will just look at you. She'll just be seated. They'll just say, I wonder what this child is doing, honestly. You get what I'm saying? So when you go for cell group meetings, go for simple songs. Are you all there? And then number 6, teach practical topics. Teach practical topics. So my practical topics, you actually find they are very good for cell groups. They touch people's lives. They leave a lasting impression, right? Leave a lasting impression. And then also invite guest ministers. Invite guest ministers. Yes, invite guest ministers. Guest ministers. Now, what I want us to say to us here is, it's important to invite a guest minister. It's just like right now, if I was to invite Bishop to Pano Zarab, this place will get packed. You will actually see some people that have not come to church for 4 months. That day they will be there. Hey, you are asking, where are you coming from? Yeah, but the point is, it's a guest minister. No, one of these days I invited Mom here. Yeah, I saw a number of guys that had not been coming to church. They came, and they didn't just come. Yeah, they bought 10 or so of my books. You're wondering, what brings you here? Why are you coming now? Because there is Mom. I'm always there for you. I'm your shepherd. You get the point? But you never know. I don't know what guest ministers do. But that is the point. So in your cell group, you just announced this coming week we'll be having our pastor will be here. This coming month, our elder is coming. Then this coming month, there's a minister who is coming. Minister so-and-so in charge of ushering. He's coming and he will talk to us about ushering. And some of you, please consider joining that department. Hallelujah. Are you all learning something? Yes. That's important. That's what you do. And then develop lady ministers. Lady ministers. So ask some ladies in your church to minister. And I believe that is very important. Very, very important. And last but not least, use a preaching roster. Use a preaching roster or a program. Now you will find when you do those things, they will actually help you greatly as a cell group leader, and you'll be successful. Now, of all those points that I said to you, that will help a person to become a successful cell group leader. If you were to ask me, to Rev, what is the most important one? My advice is always be there.